The all-day residence program was developed in 1950, the beginning of a thrust of support the PGA has always given to young physicians. The residents, many who became successful academic anesthesiologists, presented their work at an all-day Saturday session of the PGA. The Women's Auxiliary supported the program by conferring an award upon the winner of the Residence Research Contest.
I think the biggest challenge was the Resident Research Contest, and to get more interest in that, since our future so much depends on that contest, on the residents' participation, and also to develop people who will become the leaders of the New York State Society and other societies.
We have got to, as leaders, have got to replace ourselves, and the best way to do that is to bring young people in to try and help them develop leadership skills so that they can come in and become active and carry things forward.
So it became essential that we get people involved at an early level and make it a transition from residency into young attendings and keep them stimulated as young attendings. So many of us thought that if we could put together a nice residence section that would be a nice transition between the residence status to attending status, and they wouldn't stay uninvolved in those early years of their careers.
We were extremely fortunate in having Peter Kane set up the residence section, involve the residents, get them involved on committees, get them politically involved within the NYSSA. Peter did so fine a job that the American Society of Anesthesiologists decided to follow our example in setting up their residence section, and they looked to Peter because of the work he had done and the obvious leadership qualities that he had and his ability to get the thing going. So that the ASA resident program is modeled after the NYSSA program. And again, it's just another example of New York leading the way.
The PGA moved from the New Yorker to the New York Hilton in 1963, where it remains today. The growth of the PGA was the obvious reason. There were far too many participants to be housed in the New Yorker. Multiple ballrooms allowed space for more panels and an increased seating capacity. The House of Delegates could meet in still another ballroom to take care of the business of the society. Highlights of the 1960s included the development of the Medical Student Guest Program, which was patterned after a similar program initiated by the American College of Surgeons. Medical students were invited to attend the meeting as guests of the society, including hotel and travel expenses. This introduction for medical students was critical. It allowed interested students to meet the leaders of anesthesiology and to begin to understand the scientific foundations of the specialty.
Well, at the PGA, we brought them in to wine them and dine them, you might say, show them a little bit off from their regular routine medical school activities, and remind you some of these people were even students yet, medical students, and we had good ideas to make good men of them and to make them learned people, learned anesthetists and anesthesiologists, and it was for their good. We had some ulterior motives, you might say. We're trying to upgrade and raise the standards of anesthesia and all the related things that go with anesthesia. And it's just now, years since then, there are the many other things that go, pain relief and all that sort of thing. Get them interested, and they are interested. And by the reports today, many of them are very anxious to get on that roster, and we're happy about it.
In the 50s and 60s, anesthesiologists were not as popular as a specialty as they are today, and I think it was originally designed as a recruiting tool. In all honesty, I don't know how effective it ever was as a recruiting tool, but I do think that it certainly helped to make students become aware of anesthesiology as not only as a career choice, but as a specialty in what we do, so that when students had the opportunity to go out into practice in whatever field they went out into, they would still understand what anesthesiologists did.